If you feel anxious in relationships, like you need reassurance or you fear being left, this is not because there is something wrong with you. Hi, I'm Delyth, and I work with people who have already done a ton of inner work, but still find themselves stuck in stress, anxiety, or long-standing patterns that are impacting their relationships and their life. And today we're just going to explore very gently anxious attachment, what it is and what you can begin to do to become more secure. So first of all, anxious attachment often shows up as overthinking, needing a lot of reassurance, feeling unsettled when there's distance in an existing relationship or connection. And what really sits underneath is a fear of abandonment. So if this rings a bell with you, you may notice that when you have a romantic relationship or a friendship, or it can show up even at work, when there's an interaction between you both, you may then start to analyze it. You may start to really feel insecure in your body. So you may start to notice the physical sensations of anxiety. Your heart may start racing. You may feel like quivering sensations rising up through your body. Your mind will start to create stories or thoughts, and you may hear beliefs about yourself. Essentially, you're going to be feeling unsafe in your nervous system, unsafe in your body, and unsafe in your mind. And so it turns out when we're triggered, when we think that person maybe doesn't like us, is going to leave us, is going to finish with us, we won't see them again. And it can feel really, really, really intense in the body. And then we may act in certain ways to really keep that person close. We may text them a lot, call them a lot, email them a lot. We also may be making up fantasies in our mind about how we can get that person back, or going into worst case scenarios. It can feel very tiring, very unsettling, and in this moment, we are essentially abandoning ourselves to get that person back, to make us feel safe. So what you're essentially doing is trying to secure the connection. Why does this actually happen? First of all, recognize that this pattern isn't random. It's something that your nervous system learned. And your nervous system will have learned this from earlier experiences where connection didn't feel fully safe or consistent. And this pattern is learnt in childhood, especially within the first few years of being here. So as a baby and as a toddler, and then other experiences probably happened as you got older that reinforced that you didn't feel safe and a connection wasn't fully available to you or consistent. And so this is how your nervous system adapted to actually keep you safe as a child. When this happens, it's a trigger event, and so there will be some resonance between yourself and the other person that unconsciously transports you back to that time. And so you're coming out of linear time and you're traveling back in time. And so it can feel like your younger self is really coming out, and it can feel really destabilizing because in that moment you're wanting that other person to make you feel safe. Now, I had this. I had an anxious attachment system, so I know what it feels like to overanalyze, feel the urgency to secure that person and to want closeness, but to still feel unsettled, to be hypervigilant in that moment when subconsciously I thought that person was going to leave me, or I felt there was a threat to our intimacy and our connection, even when that relationship was not for my highest and best, or for theirs, pretty likely not for their highest and best either. So these are unconscious processes that are happening. But I also know that you can shift this pattern to become secure, because I have worked with clients and seen them shift this pattern. What doesn't actually work is trying to think your way out of it. And you also cannot just tell yourself to relax. What does work is nervous system work. Anxious attachment is a nervous system response. There's nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is actually doing what it's meant to be doing, trying to keep you safe. But what's happening in that moment is it's picking up information that may not even be real anymore. It's just reacting to the past. So what you need to do is learn to regulate your nervous system. That's the first thing to do. So you need to learn how to slow your body down, because in anxious attachments, we're actually speeded up. There's a lot of adrenaline going on there, cortisol. So we need to slow the body down. We can slow the body down through our breath. My favorite is heart math breathing. And also through being with nature. You can go and walk with nature every day. Nature is a co-regulation friend. And as you do this, you're going to be creating safety internally. And this is something that you may need to do every day, several times a day. And over time, you'll repattern your nervous system. You may also look at inner child work. And inner child work will help you to meet the part of you that still feels unsafe, instead of overriding him or her. Inner child work will help you to hear and see these parts of you that feel unsafe in a connection, especially one that has a resonance with the past. And number 3 is self-sourcing. So becoming the one who reassures this part of you or these parts of you, instead of needing it and wanting it externally all the time in a trigger event. So nervous system regulation work, inner child work, and self-sourcing. You become the parent to yourself, to your inner child. This is the actual work that's going to help you to become secure in love and in life. We need to also reframe what love is. Secure love actually does not feel intense. It doesn't feel like you have to chase love. It feels calm and steady and safe. A love that you can rely on, that is consistent. So you heal the wounds within oneself that want intensity, that feel like they need to chase. To become confident and secure in calmness, in steadiness. And also feeling that safety is enough, that it's not boring. Because when we have an insecure attachment, we can chase excitement and intensity. We need to make safety and calmness and steadiness be attractive. So when we normalize calmness and steadiness and safety, then that's what we choose throughout our life experience, including love. that sense of security feels like wholeness, is balance, and we make different choices from this energetic space rather than an insecure space within us. So this is the work that I guide people through. And if you want to begin today to become more secure in yourself, so you begin to make different choices in love and in life, begin the inner child meditation below. And you may need to listen to that ongoing for at least 30 days. There's also an inner child journal below as well. It's a beautiful journal to guide you through connecting and communicating and really getting to know yourself and your inner child parts. If you want to take it deeper, this is the one-to-one work I do, and linked in the description is how to work with me. There's nothing wrong with you, and you are deserving of love. You are deserving of all you truly desire in your heart. And that generally comes to us more easily when we feel more secure, so we actually do not push away what we truly desire and want. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.